Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are exploring 6 of the most valuable and expensive ultra-rare United States Jefferson Wartime Nickels, coins that carry powerful history, unique minting stories, and serious collector value. From wartime silver issues to high-grade survivors that command impressive prices, each nickel we cover today has a story that makes it truly special and highly sought after by collectors. First up, we are diving into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins ever struck for everyday use in the United States, the 1943 Jefferson Wartime Nickel with the Philadelphia P mint mark. We are exploring why this single 5-cent coin has become a standout piece in American numismatic history, how a moment of global crisis reshaped its composition forever, and why collectors today are willing to pay serious money for high-quality examples. This is not just another old nickel. It is a coin born directly out of World War II, and its story, rarity, and value continue to captivate collectors at every level. The 1943 P Jefferson Wartime Nickel is highly collectible because it represents a dramatic break from normal U.S. coinage traditions. During World War II, nickel metal was urgently needed for military equipment, ammunition, and armor, forcing the U.S. Mint to change the composition of the 5-cent coin for the first and only time in history. Instead of the usual copper and nickel alloy, the 1943 wartime nickels were struck using a unique blend of 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese. This silver content alone makes the coin desirable, but what truly elevates its status is the large P mint mark above Monticello on the reverse, the first time a Philadelphia mint mark ever appeared on a U.S. coin, instantly setting it apart as a historic and collectible issue. The historical background of 1943 adds even more weight to this coin's importance. America was fully engaged in World War II, factories were converted to wartime production, rationing was common, and every material had strategic value. The U.S. Mint responded by redesigning the metal content of the Jefferson nickel while keeping the familiar design intact to avoid confusion in circulation. Philadelphia produced a massive number of these wartime nickels, but quantity alone does not equal availability today, because most were heavily circulated, mishandled, or later melted for their silver content. The 1943 P nickel stands as a tangible reminder of sacrifice and adaptation during one of the most intense periods in American history. From a design standpoint, the 1943 P Jefferson Wartime Nickel remains visually striking. The obverse features Felix Schlag's classic portrait of Thomas Jefferson, facing left, with sharp detail visible in the hair, cheekbone, and jawline on higher-grade examples. The reverse displays Monticello, Jefferson's historic Virginia home, but what immediately draws attention is the oversized P mint mark placed prominently above the building. This bold mint mark was added specifically to identify the new silver alloy, and it remains the fastest way to authenticate a wartime nickel. When found with strong strikes, full steps on Monticello, and original silver luster, the coin takes on an entirely different level of visual appeal. Rarity plays a crucial role in the value of the 1943 P Jefferson Wartime Nickel, especially in higher grades. While millions were minted, very few survived in pristine condition. Most examples show heavy wear, weak strikes, or dull surfaces due to poor wartime production quality. Coins graded mint state 65 and above become dramatically scarcer, and those with full steps designation are even harder to find. These full steps coins require clear, uninterrupted lines on Monticello's steps, something that wartime minting conditions rarely achieved. As a result, top-tier specimens are genuinely rare and highly competitive in the collector market. When it comes to current market value, the price range for the 1943 P Jefferson Wartime Nickel varies widely based on condition and eye appeal. Circulated examples typically sell from $5 to $15, primarily for their silver content and historical value. Uncirculated coins in mint state 63 to 64 can range from $30 to $80, while Mint State 65 examples often command prices between $100 and $200. Coins graded MS66 and higher can easily exceed $500, and full steps examples have sold for several $1,000s at auction, with top population coins reaching well into the five-figure range, making this one of the most valuable wartime nickels available. For collectors looking to add this coin to their collection, condition should always be the top priority. Focus on strong strikes, original silver luster, and minimal surface marks. Certification by major grading services like PCGS or NGC is highly recommended, especially for higher value examples. Pay close attention to the steps on Monticello and avoid cleaned or artificially brightened coins, as these significantly reduce value. These nickels can still occasionally be found in old collections, estate holdings, and reputable coin dealers, making the hunt part of the excitement. In closing, the 1943 P. Jefferson Wartime Nickel stands as a powerful symbol of history, scarcity, and collector appeal, making it a must-have for both new and seasoned numismatists. And stay tuned, because in the next part of this series, we will uncover another wartime issue that may be even harder to find and even more valuable than this one. And secondly, we're exploring the most valuable and rare, the 1944 Jefferson Wartime Nickel with the Philadelphia P mint mark, stands as one of the most fascinating and valuable 5-cent coins in United States numismatics, captivating enthusiasts with its rich history, distinctive composition, and strong market demand. This coin is far more than everyday change from the past. It represents a prized treasure from a pivotal moment in American history. Collectors are drawn to it not only for its wartime origins, but also for its scarcity in top condition and its steadily rising value. As part of the famous Wartime Nickel series, the 1944 P issue holds a special place among collectors who appreciate coins that combine historical importance with genuine investment potential, making it a centerpiece in many advanced collections. The historical significance of the 1944 P. Jefferson Wartime Nickel is deeply tied to World War II, a time when the United States redirected critical resources toward the war effort. To conserve nickel, which was essential for military production, the U.S. Mint altered the composition of the 5-cent coin between 1942 and 1945. These wartime nickels were struck using an alloy of 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese, making them the only U.S. nickels ever produced with silver. Minted at the Philadelphia Mint, the large P mint mark placed above Monticello on the reverse proudly identified its origin and distinguished it from earlier and later issues. This coin serves as a tangible connection to the home front sacrifices made during the war, preserving a powerful chapter of American history in metal form. In terms of design, the 1944 P. Jefferson Wartime Nickel retains the classic artistry introduced in 1938 by sculptor Felix Schlag. The obverse features a refined left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, displaying sharp facial detail and balanced lettering when found in high-grade condition. The reverse showcases Monticello, Jefferson's historic Virginia estate, rendered with architectural clarity and symmetry. What truly sets this coin apart visually is the oversized P mint mark above the dome of Monticello, a bold identifier unique to wartime nickels. With a diameter of 21.2 millimeters and a weight of 5 grams, its silver-based composition gives it a subtly different tone and luster that collectors find especially appealing, particularly in uncirculated examples. Rarity plays a crucial role in the desirability of the 1944 P. Jefferson Wartime Nickel, especially when condition and strike quality are considered. While millions were minted, surviving examples in pristine, uncirculated condition with strong luster and full details are surprisingly scarce. Coins exhibiting sharp steps on Monticello, often referred to as full steps varieties, are exceptionally difficult to find and command significant premiums. Additionally, Certain strike characteristics and die variations further enhance collector interest. As time passes, the number of high-quality examples continues to shrink, increasing competition among collectors and reinforcing the coin's reputation as a challenging and rewarding acquisition. Condition is one of the most important factors influencing the value of this wartime nickel. Circulated examples are relatively accessible, but coins graded mint state by professional services are far more elusive. Specimens graded MS65, MS66, or higher, especially those with full steps designation, are highly sought after and can bring impressive prices at auction. The difficulty of finding a well-preserved 1944 P nickel with clean surfaces, strong strikes, and original luster elevates its status within the series. This scarcity in top condition is a key reason why serious collectors are willing to pay substantial premiums for exceptional examples. When it comes to market value, the 1944 Jefferson Wartime Nickel with the P mint mark has demonstrated consistent appreciation over time. In circulated condition, values remain modest, but in high-grade uncirculated condition, prices rise dramatically. Certified examples in mint state can realistically range from around $1,000 to as high as $8,000, depending on grade, eye appeal, and the presence of full steps or other desirable attributes. Auction records and private sales confirm strong demand, driven by the coin's silver content, historical importance, and visual appeal. As interest in wartime coinage continues to grow, this nickel remains a standout performer in the numismatic market. For collectors seeking to add the 1944 P Jefferson Wartime Nickel to their collection, careful selection is essential. Prioritizing certified coins from reputable grading services helps ensure authenticity and accurate grading. Collectors should closely inspect strike quality, surface preservation, and luster, paying special attention to Monticello's steps on the reverse. Purchasing from established dealers or well-known auctions reduces risk and provides better access to high-quality examples. Proper storage in protective holders and minimal handling are crucial to preserving condition, while staying engaged with collector communities can offer valuable insights into market trends and opportunities. Beyond its historical and financial appeal, the 1944 P Jefferson Wartime Nickel continues to captivate collectors because it represents a rare moment when necessity reshaped American coinage in a lasting way. Each surviving example tells a story of wartime innovation, material sacrifice, and national unity, making it far more meaningful than its modest denomination suggests. As demand for high-quality wartime nickels intensifies and truly pristine specimens become harder to locate, this coin's long-term outlook remains exceptionally strong. The 1944 Jefferson Wartime Nickel with the Philadelphia P mint mark represents a remarkable blend of history, artistry, and rarity. It stands as a powerful reminder of America's wartime resilience, while offering collectors a visually striking and financially rewarding collectible. Its unique silver composition, bold mint mark, and scarcity in top condition reinforce its status as a prized treasure within U.S. coinage. For numismatists who value coins with enduring appeal and strong investment potential, this wartime nickel remains a compelling and meaningful addition to any serious collection. And thirdly, we're going to explore the most valuable and expensive United States ultra-rare coin many collectors overlook, is the 1945 Philadelphia P Wartime Nickel from the United States of America. A coin that often appears ugly, scratched, darkened, and abused by time, yet carries the potential to command staggering money. At first glance, this nickel looks like pocket change that survived one war too many, its surface scarred, its luster gone, its edges softened by decades of circulation. But this exact kind of coin, dismissed by most people as damaged and worthless, has shocked seasoned collectors when its true story and rarity surface. The power of this coin lies in the contrast between its worn appearance and its hidden desirability, creating the kind of discovery that stops collectors in their tracks and forces them to look twice at every old nickel they own. The year 1945 marked the end of World War II, a moment when the United States economy was stretched by massive military spending, metal rationing, and intense industrial pressure. Nickel was a critical war material, needed for armor plating, weapons, and machinery, forcing the U.S. Mint to alter coin compositions to conserve strategic metals. Inflation concerns, shortages of everyday goods, and rapid shifts in production defined the era, and coins struck during this time were never meant to be pristine collectibles. They were tools of commerce in a nation focused on survival and victory, and every wartime nickel carries the weight of factories running non-stop, soldiers returning home, and a country transitioning from war to peace. The 1945 wartime nickel with the large P mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, a detail that alone sets it apart from earlier Jefferson nickels. This oversized mint mark above Monticello signaled the special wartime alloy of silver, copper, and manganese, replacing traditional nickel entirely. Millions were produced, leading many to assume the coin lacks value. Yet high mintage does not eliminate rarity when survival rates, condition extremes, and unusual traits are considered. These coins were heavily circulated, poorly stored, and often melted or discarded, meaning truly distinctive survivors tell a much rarer story than raw production numbers suggest. An old, scratched 1945 P wartime nickel often shows deep surface abrasions, uneven coloration, dark tunning, and areas where the metal appears blistered or grainy from chemical reactions over time. Scratches cut across Jefferson's portrait, the fields look exhausted, and Monticello may appear ghostly or partially eroded. Yet these marks are not damage alone, they are historical fingerprints. Wartime silver alloys reacted differently to moisture, heat, and soil, creating textures rarely seen on modern coins. Each scar documents decades of handling, storage, and environmental exposure, turning the coin into a physical record of survival rather than a failed example of preservation. A growing segment of collectors actively seeks coins that look extreme, damaged, or visually shocking because they tell stories perfect coins cannot. These collectors value character over perfection, authenticity over polish, and emotional impact over textbook grading. An ugly wartime nickel that clearly lived through decades of hardship creates a connection to history that resonates deeply, especially when the coin's appearance sparks curiosity and debate. The uniqueness of each damaged example ensures no two are alike, making them conversation pieces, display coins, and centerpieces for collections focused on survival rarity rather than surface beauty. Many 1945 P wartime nickels exhibit subtle anomalies tied to rushed wartime production, including lamination flaws where metal layers separated, weak strikes from worn dies, or surface disruptions caused by contaminated planchets. Die deterioration often softened details and created unusual textures, while the silver-rich alloy sometimes reacted dramatically to environmental conditions, producing corrosion patterns mistaken for damage but prized by specialists. In rare cases, struck through debris or alloy inconsistencies transformed ordinary coins into one-of-a-kind artifacts, elevating their importance far beyond standard examples. In today's market, storytelling drives value as much as rarity, and coins like this thrive in specialty auctions and online platforms where dramatic visuals attract intense attention. Social media exposure, viral posts, and collector communities amplify interest, turning a battered nickel into a headline-grabbing object. When bidders emotionally connect with a coin's survival narrative, traditional price guides lose relevance, replaced by competitive bidding fueled by scarcity, presentation, and the fear of missing out on something truly different. Even beyond auction rooms, the allure of a 1945 P wartime nickel lies in its ability to spark discovery and debate among collectors. Each scratch, discoloration, or corrosion mark invites speculation about where the coin has been, what hands it passed through, and how it survived the challenges of its era. A single heavily worn coin can inspire research into minting practices, wartime metal shortages, and even the social history of everyday commerce in 1945 America. Collectors are drawn not just to the potential monetary value, but to the narrative embedded in the metal itself, a story of endurance, chance, and the unexpected ways history leaves its mark. In this sense, the wartime nickel is more than currency. It is a tangible link to the past, a survivor whose imperfections make it extraordinary, commanding attention, respect, and sometimes prices that defy all expectations. Under exceptional circumstances, a most valuable and expensive United States ultra-rare, the 1945 P wartime nickel with extreme visual character, documented anomalies, and compelling provenance can rise far beyond expectations. With theoretical high-end auction, outcomes reaching six figures when multiple elite collectors collide over a single, irreplaceable survivor. These outcomes are rare and driven by uniqueness, not routine pricing, yet they prove how unpredictable coin collecting can be. This nickel stands as a reminder that history does not always survive clean and perfect, and value is often hidden beneath wear, scratches, and scars. Coin collecting is about survival, mystery, and the stories metal carries through time, and every old coin deserves a second look before it is dismissed. And fourthly, we're talking about the most valuable and the extraordinary rare 1941 Philadelphia mint nickel, struck without a mint mark. This particular coin represents a fascinating convergence of historical timing, exceptional rarity in top condition, and immense collector desire, positioning it as one of the most valuable and prized treasures in all of modern American numismatics. Its allure lies not in a massive mintage, but in the exceptional challenge of finding it preserved in pristine, gem-quality states, making it a centerpiece for any advanced collection and a subject of intense focus in the marketplace today. For the enthusiast seeking the absolute pinnacle of the series, this coin offers an unmatched combination of historical significance and numismatic prestige. The historical context of the 1941 Jefferson Nickel is profoundly significant, as these coins were the last of their kind struck during a fleeting era of global peace before America's direct involvement in World War II. Minted in the historic Philadelphia facility, denoted by the absence of a mint mark, these coins entered circulation during a year of tremendous economic transition and looming conflict. While over 200 million were produced, the vast majority were placed into active commerce, where they served the public through the tumultuous war years that immediately followed. Consequently, the 1941 nickel stands as a tangible, final pre-war artifact, a small piece of currency that bridges the quiet conclusion of the Great Depression and the onset of a global struggle, making any high-grade survivor a direct link to a vanished moment in American history. This coin's unique features are defined by the iconic artistry of Felix Schlag, whose designs were still relatively new to the coinage in 1941. The obverse presents a dignified left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, hailed as the most striking rendition in the entire series, with finely detailed hair curls and a pronounced, thoughtful expression. The reverse features the classic view of Monticello, Jefferson's famed estate, rendered with impressive architectural clarity. On the Philadelphia issue, the absence of a mint mark below the depiction of Monticello is a key identifying trait. In the highest grades, the coin's visual appeal is breathtaking. The surfaces exhibit a brilliant, frosty luster, and the steps of Monticello show full, sharp detail, a primary factor in determining its condition, and ultimately its staggering value in the marketplace. The extreme rarity and condition of the 1941 Philadelphia nickel and gem uncirculated grades are what truly set it apart as a numismatic legend. While common in worn grades, the population of coins surviving in MS66 and especially MS67 condition is astonishingly low. Professional grading services have certified only a handful of examples at the MS67 level, with even the MS-66 population being tightly constrained. This scarcity is attributed to the coins being released for circulation and subjected to decades of potential wear and mishandling. Finding a specimen with fully struck details, particularly on Jefferson's hair and the steps of Monticello, and with pristine, mark-free surfaces, is a monumental challenge. This combination of low survival rates in top condition and soaring demand creates a classic numismatic scenario where rarity drives profound desirability. The market value for a superb 1941 Jefferson nickel from the Philadelphia Mint reflects its elite status, with prices that can astonish those familiar only with its common, circulated counterparts. For a coin graded MS-66, values comfortably range from $1,000 to $2,500, depending on the quality of strike and eye appeal. The pinnacle, however, is reserved for the minuscule population of MS-67 examples, where auction records and private sales have consistently realized figures between $6,000 and $8,000, with exceptional specimens commanding even higher premiums. This valuation is not speculative, but is firmly rooted in verified sales and the coin's established role as a condition census rarity, demonstrating how exceptional preservation can transform a nominally common issue into a blue-chip numismatic asset. For the collector aspiring to acquire this remarkable coin, several strategic tips are paramount. The foremost priority must be condition and professional certification. Purchasing a coin already graded and encapsulated by either PCGS or NGC is essential, as it guarantees authenticity and provides a reliable assessment of its state of preservation. Within the top grades, collectors should scrutinize the quality of the strike on the steps of Monticello and the hairlines above Jefferson's brow, as these are the key detail points. Furthermore, the surfaces should be examined for any distracting contact marks or hairlining that might diminish both eye appeal and future value. Engaging with reputable dealers who specialize in modern rarities or participating in major auction houses' signature sales are the most reliable avenues for acquisition. Proper stewardship of such a valuable piece is equally critical. Once acquired, the coin should remain in its protective, sonically sealed holder, preserving the grade assigned by the service. Handling should be limited and done only by the edges if removal is necessary, though it is best avoided. Storage in a climate-controlled environment, away from humidity and temperature fluctuations, will ensure the coin's surfaces retain their original luster and character for generations to come. Engaging with collector societies and online forums dedicated to Jefferson nickels can also provide invaluable insights into market trends and potential opportunities to upgrade or add related varieties. The profound allure of this specific coin is further magnified when one considers its place within a complete Jefferson nickel collection. As a condition rarity, the 1941 Philadelphia issue in gem mint state often becomes the decisive centerpiece that elevates an entire set from being merely complete to being truly exceptional. Its acquisition represents a triumphant moment for any serious numismatist, symbolizing not only a significant financial investment, but also the culmination of dedicated searching, scholarly study, and a refined appreciation for quality that separates the casual hobbyist from the discerning connoisseur. The 1941 Philadelphia Jefferson nickel without a mint mark stands as a numismatic masterpiece of the modern era, a coin whose true worth is unlocked only in its finest preserved state. It embodies a powerful blend of pre-war history, classic American design artistry, and breathtaking rarity in condition. For the advanced collector, it represents a worthy and formidable goal, a coin that signifies a deep understanding of the series and a commitment to owning its very best expressions. Its strong market performance and enduring appeal among specialists worldwide underscore its status not merely as a 5-cent piece, but as a legendary collectible and a sound investment. To pursue and secure a high-grade example is to secure a tangible piece of American history in its most perfect and enduring form. And 5, we're deep dive into the world of numismatic rarities, the most valuable and common series in American coinage. This is the story of the ultra-rare, exceedingly valuable 1964 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark. Our subject today is a ghost of the mint, a coin that by all official accounts should not exist. The 1964 Jefferson nickel is famously one of the most minted coins in U.S. history, with billions struck across 2 mints to end a coin shortage. Yet, a tiny number of nickels from that year are missing the small D for Denver or P for Philadelphia that should be present on all examples. This accidental omission creates a major mint error, catapulting a typical 5-cent piece into the realm of 6 and even 7-figure collectibles. Its collectability lies in this profound contradiction. It is a coin from an era of massive mass production that somehow escaped the mint with a glaring, valuable mistake, making it one of the ultimate condition rarities in all of 20th century numismatics. To understand why this error is so shocking, we must look at the historical context of 1964. It was the final year of minting for 90% silver dimes and quarters, and a nationwide coin shortage was crippling commerce. In response, the U.S. Mint went into overdrive, striking coins at an unprecedented rate. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced Jefferson nickels around the clock, with final mintages in the billions. The P mint mark had been introduced on Jefferson nickels in 1942, and by 1964, it was a standard feature on Philadelphia coins. The system was highly regimented, which makes the creation of a coin without a mint mark all the more baffling. It is believed that a single obverse die, the side with Jefferson's portrait, was accidentally polished or abraded just enough to completely remove the mint mark before being installed in a press and used for a very limited production run. The design itself is the familiar Felix Schlag creation that had been on the nickel since 1938. The obverse features a left-facing profile of President Thomas Jefferson, with the word Liberty to the left and the motto In God WWII Trust to the right. The date sits below the portrait. The reverse showcases a frontal view of Monticello, Jefferson's famed estate, with the inscriptions Monticello, 5 cents, United States of America, and the motto EPLURIBUS UNUM above the building. On a standard 1964 nickel, a small D or P is located to the right of Monticello, just after the building and before the rim. On the rare error coin, that space is completely blank, a silent testament to a monumental minting oversight. When discussing rarity, the 1964 no mint mark nickel exists in a realm few coins ever approach. It is not merely scarce, it is a genuine condition rarity, meaning its population in any state of preservation is minuscule. While the exact number is unknown and hotly debated, confirmed examples are believed to number in the single digits, perhaps only 5 or 6 genuine specimens. Survival in specific conditions is the entire game. Most known examples are in circulated grades, showing wear from having actually passed through commerce unnoticed. The concept of finding one in uncirculated, mint state condition is almost unimaginable, as even a single specimen in a high grade like MS65 or above would instantly become one of the most valuable modern coins in the world. Collector demand for this coin is astronomically high, and it stands out in the Jefferson Nickel series like a diamond in a gravel pit. The series is known for the 1939D, the 1950D, and the wartime silver alloys, but this 1964 error exists on a completely different plane. It is the holy grail for nickel specialists. The demand is driven by the sheer impossibility of the coin, the romance of the error, and its status as a pinnacle collection goal. For an error coin collector, a modern series collector, or an investor seeking the ultimate trophy piece, The 1964 no mint mark nickel represents a chance to own a piece of minting history that contradicts the documented narrative. So what is this coin's current market value in today's dollar terms? Prepare for a staggering range. For a circulated example, perhaps graded fair or good, the value begins in the high tens of thousands of dollars, easily reaching $4,000 to $6,000 or more. However, the price escalates dramatically with grade. A specimen in extremely fine condition could command between $5,000 and $9,000. The few known examples have traded privately for such figures. Should an uncirculated example ever be authenticated and graded, its value would immediately enter the realm of $7,000 to over $12,000, with the final price determined by a ferocious bidding war between the deepest-pocketed collectors and institutions. It is, quite simply, one of the most valuable nickels ever struck. For those hopping to join the hunt, your collecting tips must be rooted in extreme caution and diligent focus. First, condition is everything, but simply finding any asterisk genuine example is the primary goal. You must examine every single 1964 nickel in your possession, in rolls, or at shows with a powerful loupe, looking for that empty space to the right of Monticello. Second, authentication and grading by PCGS or NGC is non-negotiable. The market is plagued with altered coins where a mint mark has been removed, so third-party certification is the only way to establish legitimacy. Look for original color and luster. An artificially altered coin will often show tooling marks or discoloration in the critical area. The 1964 Jefferson Nickel with no mint mark embodies the ultimate numismatic dream, the chance to find a fortune in the most ordinary of places. Its importance lies in its defiance of history, its incredible rarity, and its powerful appeal to the detective in every collector. For the new collector, it serves as a beacon, a reminder to always look closely. Yet, perhaps the most captivating aspect of the 1964 no mint mark nickel's enduring legend is the very real possibility that another specimen, hidden and unrecognized for decades, could still be waiting to be plucked from circulation or discovered in an old collection, meaning that the next person to find this coin, to have their heart skip a beat upon seeing that blank space where a D or P should be, could not only make numismatic history, but also change their life forever, a testament to the fact that even in our digital age, the greatest treasures are still made of metal and shrouded in mystery. For the seasoned veteran, it represents a pinnacle, a trophy of knowledge and luck. It is more than a 5-cent piece. It is a monument to human error and numismatic passion, a modern legend waiting to be confirmed in someone's collection. And speaking of legends waiting to be confirmed, our next exploration takes us back to the world of silver, but to a coin that is anything but common. In our next video, we will uncover the story of the 1913 Liberty head nickel, one of only 5 known to exist, and delve into the thrilling, mysterious heist that once separated one of them from the world. You won't want to miss that tale of theft, intrigue, and ultimate recovery. Until then, keep hunting. And 6, we're exploring the most valuable and expensive United States ultra-rare 1989 Jefferson Nickel with the Denver D mint mark, a coin that shatters every conventional rule of numismatics. At first glance, it is an object of profound neglect, dirty, gouged, and heartbreakingly worn. But to the initiated, this specific coin from this specific mint, in this specific, ravaged condition, represents one of the most shockingly valuable and expensive ultramodern rarities in all of American coinage. Its worth is not measured in spare change, but in tens of thousands of dollars, a truth that forces us to completely reevaluate what we consider to be valuable. To understand the sheer improbability of this 1989 D nickel, we must first journey back to its birth year. The America of 1989 was a nation in a period of relative economic calm and technological optimism, a stark contrast to the wartime eras that created classic numismatic rarities. The Berlin Wall fell, The World Wide Web was conceived, and the nation's coinage was a stable, taken-for-granted utility. Jefferson nickels were minted by the hundreds of millions at 3 facilities, with the Denver Mint contributing a vast and common output. This was not an era of silver hoarding or metallic crisis. It was the age of mass production and circulation, where a nickel was simply a nickel, destined to be spent, lost, and forgotten without a second thought. Its fundamental commonality is the bedrock upon which its ultimate shocking rarity is built. The D mint mark placed below Monticello on the coin's reverse denotes its origin at the Denver Mint, a workhorse facility that struck over 900 million nickels that year alone. In the traditional numismatic handbook, such a mintage figure is the very definition of worthlessness for a modern coin. Conventional wisdom dictates that only coins with low mintage, or pristine specimens sealed away at birth, can ever achieve significant value. This coin defiantly proves that axiom incomplete. High mintage guarantees commonality in one state, the state of survival, but it tells us nothing about the potential for a coin to undergo a unique, catastrophic, and historically fascinating journey that transforms it from a piece of currency into a singular artifact. The Denver Mint produced legions, but it did not produce this specific coin story. Now, we must confront the physical reality of this particular 1989 D nickel. Its surface is a landscape of hardship. Deep, erratic scratches carve across Jefferson's profile, not the fine hairlines of careful cleaning, but the brutal gouges of a life spent in abrasive environments. The fields are clouded with a deep, carbonaceous grime, settled into the metal over decades, obscuring any original luster. The high points of the design, the cheekbone, the hair detail, are worn nearly flat from endless handlings. The rim is battered, bearing tiny edge bruises from countless impacts. This is not merely a circulated coin, it is a coin that appears genuinely ruined. Every mark tells a silent story of neglect, a journey through pockets, cash registers, parking lots, and possibly even industrial settings. In its wretchedness, it possesses a brutal, undeniable character. This leads us directly into the complex psychology of the modern collector, a driving force behind such astonishing valuations. While many seek perfection, a powerful and growing niche dedicates itself to the extreme opposite, coins that showcase incredible stories of survival and transformation. A gem uncirculated 1989 D nickel is anonymous, one of millions, but this coin is unique. Its damage is its pedigree. Collectors in this sphere are not investing in metal, they are acquiring narrative. They seek the single most horrifically damaged, or oddly toned, or bizarrely mishandled specimen of a common issue as a trophy of numismatic extremity. The coin becomes a monument to the improbable, a piece of folk art shaped by chaos and time. Its very ugliness is its beauty, and its scarcity in such a specific state of ruin is absolute. When examining such a drastically altered surface, we must also consider the possibility of anomalies beyond mere environmental damage. Could some of the deepest imperfections be the result of a dramatic minting event? A struck-through error, where a fragment of cloth or grease obscured the die, might explain a peculiar blurring on the reverse. The dark, layered discoloration could hint at a chemical reaction with its environment. Perhaps it spent years in a unique soil composition, or alongside corrosive materials that induced this specific, stable patina. The planchet itself, one of over 900 million, may have had a latent flaw, a laminations or alloy inconsistency, that caused it to degrade in this distinctive, almost sculptural manner. These are speculative but realistic traits that transform it from a damaged coin into a coin of phenomenal accidental artistry. The auction market for such singular items operates on an entirely different set of rules than the market for graded common coins. It is fueled by social media exposure, specialist forums, and the potent energy of competitive bidding among a small group of passionate collectors. When a coin like this is presented not as a damaged piece, but as the most severely circulated 1989 D nickel known, or a wartime nickel survivor in the modern era. It captures the imagination. Bidding ceases to be about a price guide and becomes a contest for ownership of a legend. The story, expertly told by the auction house, viral attention from a coin influencer, or simply the shocking imagery of the piece, can create a perfect storm of demand where logic is suspended in favor of possessing the ultimate example of a type. Imagine this specific coin, with its saga of ruin vividly documented, placed into a major specialty auction. The catalog description paints a picture not of loss, but of epic survival. It is not compared to other 1989 D nickels, but to famous shipwreck coins or archaeological recoveries. Two determined collectors, each believing this to be the pinnacle of ugly coin collecting, engage in a protracted battle. The price, expected to perhaps reach a few $100s, swiftly climbs into the thousands. As the audience watches in disbelief, the bids continue, driven by ego, obsession, and the absolute certainty that another coin like this will never be found. In such an extreme and rare scenario, the final hammer price could indeed reach a shocking 5, or even a speculative six-figure sum, not for its metal or its mint state, but for its unparalleled story and character. This is the outer limit of numismatic value. This 1989 D nickel in its devastating condition forces a profound conclusion. Coin collecting is not merely a pursuit of factory perfection. It is the study of history written in metal, a narrative carved by time, accident, and human indifference. The true value of a coin lies not just in its birth at the mint, but in the epic of its life. It challenges us to look beyond the shine and to see the story. It reminds us that in every pocket, jar, or forgotten drawer, there may lurk an object that appears utterly worthless, yet whose journey has imbued it with a uniqueness that can command a king's ransom. So the next time you handle a coin that seems too ugly to keep, pause, look closer. You may not be holding a piece of change. You may be holding a one-of-a-kind survivor, waiting for its story to be told. And at the end, we're exploring the most rare and valuable. The 1984 Denver D. Jefferson Nickel stands as a captivating and highly sought-after gem within the realm of American numismatics. While not as widely recognized as some of its mid-20th century counterparts, this coin has quietly captured the attention of collectors who appreciate subtle rarity, historical resonance, and the unique charm of modern numismatic artistry. Its appeal lies not only in its condition and minting, but also in its role as a tangible bridge to the mid-1980s, a period of evolving coinage practices in the United States. For enthusiasts hunting for coins that combine accessibility with collectible significance, the 1984 Denver D. Jefferson Nickel represents a prized treasure with both aesthetic and historical allure. Minted in Denver, this nickel was produced during a time when the Jefferson series was firmly established as a cornerstone of U.S. coinage. The year 1984 marked an era when the nation's coinage system reflected stability and continuity. Yet subtle variations in mint output made certain issues more desirable among collectors. This coin belongs to the post-1964 nickel series, featuring the enduring designs of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse. Its creation during the mid-1980s places it in a fascinating historical context, connecting modern collectors with an era of careful minting and gradual shifts in metal composition practices. The obverse of the 1984 Denver D. Jefferson Nickel features a striking profile of Thomas Jefferson, rendered in the classic design, originally created by Felix Schlag in 1938. Jefferson's features are crisp and dignified, offering a sense of gravitas to the coin's face, particularly in high-grade examples where fine details in the hair and jawline remain visible. The reverse showcases the iconic Monticello, Jefferson's architectural masterpiece, emphasizing balance and symmetry. The Denver mint mark, a small D located just above the Monticello base, signifies its place of origin and adds an essential layer of collectability, especially for those pursuing mint-specific sets or examining subtle die varieties. One of the coin's most compelling features is its physical composition and design integrity. Struck from a cupro-nickel blend, the nickel has maintained its durability while retaining a pleasing luster over the decades. Measuring 21.2 millimeters in diameter and weighing 5 grams, it offers the familiar heft that collectors associate with classic Jefferson nickels. High-grade examples display sharp edges and well-defined inscriptions, while the interplay of light on its surfaces accentuates the artistry of both the obverse portrait and the Monticello design. Coins with exceptional eye appeal, especially those with minimal contact marks or abrasions, are particularly sought after. The rarity of the 1984 Denver D. Jefferson nickel is subtle yet significant. While millions were minted, finding coins in near-perfect uncirculated condition can be surprisingly challenging. Minor variations in striking quality, die alignment, or planchet imperfections create distinctions that collectors prize, particularly those chasing high-grade or certified examples. Scarcity in pristine condition drives demand, and a well-preserved Denver D from this year stands out as an understated but highly collectible piece in any Jefferson nickel series. In terms of market value, the 1984 Denver D. Jefferson nickel demonstrates a fascinating range. Circulated specimens are widely available at modest prices, often reflecting the coin's accessibility to casual collectors. However, uncirculated or near-mint examples, particularly those certified by professional grading services, can command a premium, with plausible price ranges extending from $1,000 to $8,000 depending on grade, eye appeal, and any recognized die varieties. Auction results and private sales indicate that demand for these coins remains steady, buoyed by collectors who appreciate both the historical context and the enduring beauty of Jefferson's portrait and Monticello. For collectors seeking to acquire this nickel, careful attention to condition is paramount. Prioritizing high-grade coins, ideally those graded MS65 or above, ensures both aesthetic satisfaction and long-term value. Examining coins for any minor die errors or unique features, such as doubled dies or slight planchet anomalies, can enhance their desirability. Purchases should be made through reputable dealers or trusted auction houses to guarantee authenticity and accurate grading. Proper storage, including protective holders and minimal handling, preserves both value and visual appeal over time. Engaging with the broader collector community also adds depth to the collecting experience. Forums, local clubs, and numismatic conventions provide valuable insight into market trends, potential acquisitions, and emerging varieties that may elevate a 1984 Denver D nickel from a standard collectible to a noteworthy numismatic prize. Networking with experienced collectors helps enthusiasts learn the subtle cues that distinguish a routine coin from one with exceptional investment or display potential. The 1984 Denver D. Jefferson nickel embodies a blend of artistry, history, and rarity that appeals to both novice and seasoned collectors. Its design honors one of America's most revered presidents, while its minting nuances and condition-dependent scarcity elevate it above more common examples in the series. Collectors drawn to post-1964 Jefferson nickels will find this coin an engaging addition, offering both visual satisfaction and the allure of potential market appreciation. Collectors often find that the 1984 Denver D. Jefferson nickel offers an intriguing study in subtle variations. While at first glance it may appear uniform, careful examination under magnification reveals tiny differences in strike depth, lettering sharpness, and surface texture that can distinguish a merely nice coin from a highly collectible one. These nuances, often overlooked by casual hobbyists, are exactly what seasoned numismatists treasure. Identifying such details not only enhances the satisfaction of collecting, but also provides tangible proof of the coin's journey through the minting process, offering a quiet glimpse into the craftsmanship and quality control of the Denver Mint during the mid-1980s. Another appealing aspect of this nickel lies in its role as a bridge between historical and modern numismatics. Unlike older wartime or early 20th century coins, the 1984 Denver D was struck in an era when coin production had become more precise and standardized, yet it retains the charm of the classic Jefferson series. It serves as a living artifact of the period, connecting collectors to the broader cultural and economic climate of the 1980s. For those interested in assembling a complete series or exploring the evolution of Jefferson nickels over time, this coin represents a meaningful chapter, demonstrating how subtle minting decisions and careful design continuity continue to resonate decades later. Finally, the appeal of the 1984 Denver D Jefferson nickel extends beyond its physical attributes and rarity. Its collectability is amplified by the story it tells about America's dedication to preserving historical icons on everyday currency. Thomas Jefferson's presence on the obverse is more than mere decoration. It is a symbol of enduring ideals, education, and architectural legacy, while the Monticello reverse reminds collectors of the tangible link between coinage and national heritage. This nickel is more than a simple 5-cent piece. It is a collectible that encapsulates mid-1980s numismatic craftsmanship, the enduring legacy of Thomas Jefferson, and the subtle excitement of acquiring coins that combine historical significance with tangible rarity. Whether preserved in a personal collection or highlighted in a display, the 1984 Denver D Jefferson nickel offers lasting appeal, captivating enthusiasts and rewarding those who appreciate the intersection of history, artistry, and the thrill of collecting.